Perhaps you've been concerned about a potential civil conflict in the near future, and you would not be alone, as people, mostly wealthy elites that will hide in their mansions during said conflict, call for an end to civility. They are pretending that civility means being polite, which they never were to begin with, ignoring the implicit call to physical force. These people cannot connect with the people that they claim to represent, and their ulterior motives are on display for all to see. The media has been somewhat successful lately drumming up panic among the public. The paid protesters are back from off-season and running through the streets in large groups, demanding things that aren't exactly clear. One thing is clear, though, as Simone Sanders of CNN has told us. If you want to do things without the use of physical force, you need to check your privilege.
I definitely don't want anybody coming up to me and putting me out the Shake Shack, okay? I just want to be clear. I want to get my burger and my fries in peace. But there is something to be said about that the folks calling for civility might need to check their privilege. And so where is the civility in the press briefing room, Jake?
That's right. I don't want that done to me. I just want it done to the people I disagree with. Astute analysis by Simone Sanders. CNN is yellow journalism masquerading as empathetic to those who still listen when they speak. For the rest of us, we hear things like that, and it ensures that none of us will tune back in. The public has grown distrustful lately, and most of that has to do with what we saw yesterday. Before the details were even out, the media shouted, "This is what happens when you criticize us!" This is why places like CNN have lower approval ratings than the person they criticize day in and day out. No awareness, no code of ethics. They operate as a means to work people up in a frenzy, and they don't even make the hysteria fun to watch. A new poll conducted between June 21st and June 24th of this year by Rasmussen has found a few interesting details. Out of a survey of 1,000 people, 31% expect a civil war likely soon. 11% feel that it's very likely. 59% of all voters are concerned that those opposed to President Trump's policies will resort to physical force, 33% who are very concerned. 53% are concerned that those who are critical of the media's coverage of Trump will resort to force, with 24% who are very concerned. This isn't very surprising to those who've been paying attention. The media has been spending all of its time attempting to whip the public up into outrage in order to encourage them to carry out their hidden agenda. Well, it's not so hidden. Go to any of the stations and you will see for yourself how all of their reporting is centered in generating outrage, as they have devolved into clickbait. They wear the work and integrity of those before them as a badge of courage that they did not earn. Next, we have a more amusing topic. A man called Stuttering John, a former employee of Howard Stern's, made a prank call to the White House pretending to be Senator Bob Menendez. To his surprise, President Trump returned his call aboard Air Force One. In the recording, Trump actually comes off level-headed, despite being recorded without his knowledge. Usually, people are different behind closed doors, but it seemed that he's the same as he always is. Next, we have a more amusing topic. A man called Stuttering John, a former employee of Howard Stern's, made a prank call to the White House pretending to be Senator Bob Menendez. To his surprise, President Trump returned his call aboard Air Force One. In the recording, Trump actually comes off level-headed, despite being recorded without his knowledge. Usually people are different behind closed doors, but Trump seemed to be the same Trump as he always is. What caught me near the end of the phone call was Stuttering John asking Trump if he's considered anybody for the Supreme Court, and suggested that he would support him as long as he didn't pick anybody who was too conservative. Keep in mind that he is still pretending to be a senator.
I'm sure you know that Justice Kennedy is retiring. And, Justice Kennedy was a Reagan appointee. I'm begging you, are you going to go more moderate, or do you think you're going to go more conservative?
Well, I haven't looked. I have a list of people. I have a big list of people, Bob, and we'll take a look at it. And we're going to make a decision. I'll probably make it over the next couple of weeks.
Because I promise you, you will have my vote. I will help you if you don't go too conservative. You know what I'm saying?
What a missed opportunity. You had Donald Trump live on your show, and the best you could do was read CNN headlines at him. You didn't think to ask him to say the 14 words, or ask him how woke he is on the JQ, ask him about traps. There are a ton of things that would have been amazing to hear him react to, but instead, Stuttering John boringly asked mundane questions that I'm certain he had already been asked a dozen times that day. On top of that, I hope it was worth it. And there isn't a law about impersonating a politician, especially when you're broadcasting impersonating that politician with your face and real name attached. And finally, we have Netflix. What can't you put on Netflix these days? I wonder how much longer Netflix will go on before they decide that they want to compete with Pornhub, especially after this next story. This is from PJ Media. Netflix under fire for suspected child pornography scenes. An Argentinian movie that Netflix offers called Desire is upsetting subscribers because of what looks like illegal content. Viewers on Facebook have shared a clip of the movie and are calling it outright child porn. In the opening scene, you know what? I'll go ahead and not read that. I don't really want to get that image in mine or your heads, but if you want to read the article, there it is. So what is there left to say that every sane person left in the world hasn't already said? Who's in charge of making this entertainment? Why is it that this industry is so filled with so many weirdos? If ever there was a time to vote with your wallet, it would be now, especially in this age that we are currently living in. We have to find alternatives to companies that endorse stuff like this. Interesting that Soros became a majority stockholder for Netflix not too long ago. Really activates those almonds, am I right? Alright, so I've been trying to make these videos longer, but I didn't want to stretch this one out, so I'll end this one here. And I wanted to let all of you guys know that I have uploaded the audio of all of my live streams as well as the audio of all of these videos and all of my midnight show intros and extra real short meme videos that I make. All of those are available on my Patreon now. With $1 donation, you get access to the MediaFire account and you can download those videos and do whatever you want with them. I don't really care. But I figured that could be extra incentive for people who are interested in some of those small videos and just want it on their hard drive. You can do that. And if you guys want to use it for your own videos, feel free. Have a ball, have a blast. And yeah, I'll see you all later.